Welcome everyone. This video is going to cover MixItUp timers. MixItUp timers are really cool. They are chat commands, well, pretty much any kind of command really, because every command in MixItUp can be it can pretty much include elements and actions from every category. So today this is going to be timers. What happens is timers are programmed to go off at a certain amount of time or at a certain amount of chat messages in your stream, or both. There's a bunch of different rules that go along with it, but at its most basic feature is that basically it will throw in text in chat when, say, if 10 messages have passed, or if 30 minutes have passed, or both, if that's your criteria. So it's used to give information like your socials, or the last YouTube video you posted, or a reminder to tweet, to share a tweet of your streams going live, any kind of thing you want. Even some people use it just to show a little bit of positivity in their chat, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look and see about setting up a timer. So you're gonna use the main menu. This is our powerful. Everything goes through here. So we're gonna go ahead and hit timers up here. Now, timers, you have a search feature up here. If you have 1,000 of timers, you're gonna need the search feature. So the interval here, that's how many minutes have to pass before another timer will trigger. Minimum messages is basically how many messages in chat will be needed in order to trigger a timer. So hey, say if 10 minutes passed and you only had a couple of messages, it's not going to trigger a timer until the second threshold is met. Run only when live is really good, because what it means is that if your stream is not active, if your stream is not live, your bot's not constantly sending messages. Important. Not as important as anything, but you know. So randomized timers, kind of straightforward. If you have a bunch of timers that are all following the same rules, if it's not set to randomize, it'll just go through the list. If it's set to randomize, it'll choose them at random. And the disable all timers switch turns them all off until you turn them back on. So very easy. Again, if you have any questions, or if you need any more detailed information, hit that question mark. It will always take you to the page on the wiki of the current section the current section you're in on MixItUp. Right now it's timers. So we're gonna go ahead and hit a new command. Command editor, same as any other editor. The only thing that's ever going to change between commands is the top bar. There's more or less in some commands. Command group is ubiquitous. You're going to see it pretty much everywhere. This is going to be socials, and then the group interval. So if you make command groups and have timers in the command groups, the group interval will change how this particular group is set. So the group interval within that command group becomes different than the interval down here. This interval is for any of these that do not have any other interval set inside the command itself. Very important, especially if you have commands that need or that you want to have other criteria, or if you want them to come faster or slower, or if you kind of want them to be randomizing at the same time as the others. There's a lot of different things you can do with this, and it's very powerful. But anyway, at its most basic, you can add the chat message, and this will be like YouTube, Instagram, blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. If you're curious, if you ever need any kind of help with just the special identifiers, again, this is your Bible reference right here. Special identifiers. That's the page you're probably going to use the most often with MixItUp, and because it's the page that I use most often. So we're going to hit save on that timer, and that's going to run anytime that both 10 minutes and 10 minimum messages have passed. You can change these however you want them. If your chat is just a little faster, you can up the minimum interval of messages. But pretty much the interval minutes and the interval messages cover most of your eventualities. So changing them is not really necessary. And that's timers. Comment with any questions.